Welcome, collectors. Thank you once again for tuning in to another installment of Diecast Emporium. Today we're going to be taking a look at a couple models that came out in the early 2000s by Norscot. These are going to be the 1/50 scale Cat service trucks. So obviously the one that you see in front of you is the white version. This was the first version that was released in 2003. There's your copyright date there. And the second one is pretty much identical, other than the fact that it's very clearly black. This is the black Cat dealer service truck. So this one has actually never been taken out of the package, and I don't intend to change that now for the video. Everything functions the same way as it does on the white one, so for the review, we'll actually take a look at the white one. But I did want to show you that there are two versions that were done for Cat. Both of them have a Peterbilt truck and an IMT service body attached to it. Here's the back of the black one. 1/50 scale reproduction of actual IMT tool carrier and service crane, reproduction of actual Peterbilt Model 330 cab and chassis. Service crane swivels 360, raises and lowers, has 3-position extension and crane stand, clear windows and interior cab detail, chrome wheels with tires that roll and have actual tread design, official Caterpillar dealer service truck graphics. This one, in case you're wondering, and if I didn't mention, came out 1 year later in 2004, as you can see down there at the bottom left of your screen. Okay, so let us focus on the white one. So this was a big deal when it came out, at least it was for me. This was before the Sword service trucks. It really was, I won't say unique to this, because there were some Conrad, there were some European models and things that were around, but really for the price, you can actually see the original price that I picked this up for, about $27 at a hobby store in Western New York. Really, you could not beat the deal back in those days. Same thing here, identical presentation back here. The model number for the white one, 55118, and 55138 for the black one, if you are interested in looking for that. So let's go ahead and unbox this one and take a closer look at it now that all the information has been divvied out. Of course, we are talking about old school Norscot. Hard to, wow, really, that's a hard realization to come to when you're talking about 2003 and 2004 as old school, but, you know, 15, 16 years ago, I guess it is now. But these did have the annoying and pesky twist ties, which were so much fun to deal with, and so glad that those are now a thing of the past for today's current Diecast Masters pieces. So here is the truck. Pretty hefty piece of die-cast. The cab itself is metal, so is the service body. I'll get the one negative thing I have to say about these trucks out of the way. Well, there are a couple, but one major one, and it still holds true to this day. The stabilizers here, they do not lower, and again, as a 13, 14-year-old when these came out, that drove me nuts. And I really thought that was something that would have been easy to tool into the casting and to make functional, but they never did. On the back, you can see a bunch of painted lights, turn signal indicators, your Cat dealer here, the Dominator graphic here. Now, in the real world, obviously, most of you guys are familiar with this, but there are some that are not that watch this channel. So this Cat dealer here would actually have the name of the Cat dealer. For example, it would have Milton Cat or Ohio Cat there. Same thing over here on the door. You have your IMT graphic up here. Here is your crane, your service crane, and I believe this right here is to tell you what angle that the crane is currently at, because you have your little dial here, along with different degrees of measurement. So the back of these trucks were also pretty fun, because it did give you some room to, for lack of a better term, play around, if you will. So if you had some figures or some accessories, you know, here's like a 1/50 scale toolbox, you could put it in the back. If you had some spare tires, you could throw them back there, some pylons. You could have some guys here as well. So it really afforded you a lot of opportunities and display opportunities, especially obviously, if you had any other, at the time, you know, Norscot Cat equipment, you could always have them being serviced and whatnot. So yeah, there were definitely a lot of opportunities for this when it came out. On this side, again, you had your chrome side mirrors. On the front, here's your Peterbilt grille, Peterbilt logo here, your lights. The black part of the bumper is a plastic insert piece, as is the plastic used to simulate the glass windshield. Here's a nice tampo for your cat on the hood. Doors on this truck don't open. There's no working steering whatsoever, but the tires do have a somewhat decent tread pattern on them, as you can see underneath here. But again, nothing really else molded into the casting. I mean, you have a little bit of an attempt at a drive shaft. Here's your steps and gas tank and things, your axle. What a lot of people did, though, and again, something I loved about this at the time, was, if you can see, it's all held together by simple Phillips screws. So if you wanted to do a repaint and spray these in whatever company colors you wanted, very, very simple to disassemble these and paint them in whatever custom livery you'd like to do. So for the main functionality part of this truck, really it's just the crane. So you do have an extending section here, and you could always run a little piece of chain through here. It does rotate 360 degrees. Pretty smooth rotation even after all of these years. There's no issue with it falling down. That's about your max height here, but again, at max height, your extensions do not like to stay up. However, at any angle, they have no issue falling down. So overall, a very decent, inexpensive service truck for its time, and it was great to have something to pose next to your cat equipment in a diorama or in a display. Now, I believe, as the story goes, I believe there's actually a Komatsu version of this that was made by Norscot. Not sure the entire story behind that, because for a while, you know, Norscot pretty much had exclusive rights to do cat models. They really couldn't do anything else for other makes, especially other construction makes. But I have seen this casting in Komatsu colors before. But yeah, it's certainly a way less expensive alternative to some of the sword trucks that are out there. And it would really be cool. Here's my final point on this. It would really be cool to see this licensing and this body come back with today's Diecast Masters Transport Series trucks. Maybe put a Western Star or even the new Peterbilts or Kenworths trucks and have a new service body on it. I personally would love to see that. Maybe tool the service body to today's standards, maybe with some opening cabinets and such, and obviously some working stabilizer legs. Have a few more tools on here. I think that would be cool. Maybe like a vise over here, a compressor generator, that kind of stuff. I think that would be a welcome addition in 1:50 scale. But again, you guys let me know what you think down in the comments section below. So again, I'll show you very briefly here the black one, if you're just joining into the video. Again, identical to the white one. That's why it's not really even worth getting out. Again, if you're just joining in, this is actually still twist-tied in the packaging. The tape hasn't even been broke on this. It's still sealed. Same truck, so it really comes down to tit for tat. Which one do you prefer? If you would rather have the black service look or the white service truck. I know for me, this is usually what you would see around even to this day. I actually don't think I've ever seen a black cat service truck. I know they're around. I've seen pictures of them, but I have not ever seen one in person. Again, here's the white one. And the coolest thing, again, with any of these is, you know, you can have some figures set up here if they will cooperate. You can have, you know, a little toolbox out, and you can be getting some work done on some of your cat equipment. There are pylons, there are different tools, there are generators, there are lots of things that are made on Shapeways, which, again, many of you guys are familiar with, but if you're not, it's a 3D printing website, so you can always get accessories made for service trucks, which really brings them to light once again, really adds a lot of detail to your model. Here I have some signs, which again, I have reviewed these before, but you can also always put some construction signs in the back of your truck as well. These are the Lionel construction signs. If you guys want a closer look at that, just search that out on my channel. But there's certainly always a lot you can do. As always, I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. And again, let me know down in the comments section below if you would like to see this sort of casting redone by Diecast Masters in the current Transport series, but maybe updated with the new Kenworths, Peterbilts, or Western Star trucks. I'm always eager to see what you have to say. Until next time, take care and be safe. We'll see you in the next video.